Ro.24, TY, 전태양, 바머, 최지성, 아르마니, 박진현, 디어, 백동준. 아프리카 TV 브레이크업 스튜디오 라이브 2020 GSL 시즌 1 코드 S 쇼다운.
Welcome back, guys. It's time for best of three, number 3. This is the winner's match to decide who will go on to the round of 16.
Yeah, it should be TY favored.
I think
he is one of the most consistent players that we've ever had, one of the best terrors in the whole wide world. Deer, I mean, he's a very strong Protoss, and again, he's like the guy that I always think of that no matter what his results, every pro is like, oh, Deer's so good. And I'm like, why'd he die to one unit? Oh, he's so good right now. You just don't know he's so good. And it's like, okay, but sometimes he looks so good, and then other times he does not.
He's very inconsistent. I mean, so inconsistent that he can win an entire GSL his first time, and then occasionally just bomb out.
Like
and
first
so
round,
I'm always reluctant to like even say what's going to happen until we're at least sorted deep into the tournament, because he's even had periods where he's been absolutely terrifying in one tournament, and then the next season he bombs out in like round of 32 when it was round of 32, and it was not even close.
It was not even close. He lost to literally one unit.
He basically put on his triangle hat, loaded his musket, and then shot himself in the stomach in some of these games where it's like, okay, that was weird.
But he looks great tonight. He looked very strong against Armani.
No, he looks good today, and that's why I'm very interested to see how he's going to do against TY. These are two GSL veterans duking it out. TY versus Deer on Eternal Empire. Game 1 starts now.
전투 준비 완료. 퍼포먼스로 앞서가다. LG 울트라 기어와 넘버원 에너지 드링크 핫식스가 이번 전투를 지원한다고. T1 전태양. 타이지 게임 디어 백동준.
All right, so nothing looks weird at the moment. It's pretty standard, both sides. Wait and see what they want to go for tech-wise.
Yeah, so let's see what Deer's going to do here. I feel like the first two best of threes we had were kind of mismatches, you know? Oh, they're 9 and 9? Wow, I didn't know that. Anyways, I thought the first two best of threes we had, I enjoyed them, but it was clearly one player better than the other. So
yes, it really, really was.
And this might be another match like that too. If I had to predict, I think that TY might just crush through against Deer. This might be one of those groups where everybody is just a little bit...
That everyone shows exactly their rank in the group.
Yeah, they're just gapped out enough that...
Could be. Could be. Blocking the command center there a little bit. Some annoyance from Deer. TY sending his SCV down.
Command center upgrade.
Check what's going on.
Let's see what kind of game both these guys want to do. I might be wrong. It seems like there's been a slight meta shift. It used to be that you would both be fairly even on bases. It seems like Protoss is able to expand a little bit more quickly in at least some of the games, although Protoss isn't required to.
Yeah.
In fact, with this pylon thrown down here, maybe we're going to have something quite different.
Well, generally, you know, we see just a very quick third base from Protoss, and Terran kind of get other stuff with a later third.
Yeah.
And they peak up in army supply and then hopefully get some damage done. That's very oftentimes what it looks like. Wow, this scout from TY though.
Oh, and he's right when he makes it. I was about to say, if he cancels it. I was gonna say it's almost better if it starts and then he kills him, the probe.
Yeah.
But he saw that immediately.
And he actually didn't go back to check. It got canceled. So he might prepare for something that will never come.
This is actually going to be huge if that's the case, because normally when you scout it, then you have the intel that you needed, right? But not if he turns around now. There's an immediate Twilight Council here.
Yeah.
He still thinks, well, we don't know what he thinks, but he still, as far as vision goes, sees that there's something there.
Well, I think if you see it and you don't see it canceled, you must prepare for it, because that's like the deadliest thing that can occur is an Oracle blind and you don't have the defense. Look at that micro from TY.
Yeah, TY just on top of his control. Now, can he push over to the pylon now? He may still be afraid of more threats on the map here.
Yeah, if a second Stalker comes out, he loses so much.
Right. There's a robo being made. This is all back at home for Protoss. There is still the availability of that, well, the ability to use that pylon that's now out on the map.
Yeah, as the Viking comes out, I think that he's going to finally figure out that there's no Oracle, because he should be expecting it. He already has a Widow Mine in his natural mineral line. So once he sees that that's canceled, he's going to figure out what is Deer up to now, and that's just very standard from Deer. I like how he's canceled something that was meant to be a little bit more aggressive into a macro build.
Okay, so confirmation. I guess the Oracle would have already been there, but still, just seeing that that's gone and seeing that there's nothing else but there is certainly helpful.
Well, now we have a Viking that, what is that Viking going to do? Are you going to try to harass with it? You're just going to add it to your ground army? I'm not so sure.
I guess he can use it as a deterrent to try to keep the Warp Prism out. If we do get into a game where the Protoss is going to try to fly in there. I don't know what other use it has. I don't think you can really harass with it, but...
A couple beat-up Marines going to go down here and eliminate that pylon. Ah, third command center going up. So, TY, a little bit fresher than what we've been seeing lately.
Yeah.
You know, we've been seeing so much like 3 barracks play, all the upgrades going into the third command with some pressure going on. Instead here, he's gone for a quicker third command, which means, of course, his pressure won't come out quite as quickly as some Terrans do.
Right.
But honestly, are you expecting to do damage here? You know, especially on this map where it's either you're walking up a ramp towards the natural or you're going in the obvious way where Protoss should already be ready.
Yeah. Well, Cloak comes down now. This is going to be a slower game for starters here. But I want to see how Deer does. And when we get into like macro play here against TY. TY, we already saw this in the Bomber game, albeit a different matchup. Still the same ideas apply, is that TY's movement, his ability to understand where his opponent should be, and oftentimes is on the map, and setting up to stop that is one of the reasons why he's so strong. He's really able to box the other player around the map and usually come in there with a push that's a pretty quick closer. He's also excellent at just denying drops and other harass. He usually is able to shut that down almost immediately.
I'm kind of excited right now. You know, Deer is playing a very solid game. TY, he's getting his macro flowing, which I think is really important. A second factory.
Third factory even.
A third factory.
Yeah.
Yes!
This is cool.
TY going mech.
Now, I didn't expect this at all. I thought once we had the third CC for sure, he was going to go into bio, but...
and he's hiding a base in the bottom right. TY,
okay,
you
so
dog.
This is just so out there.
Yeah, it is. Oh my God, we're gonna get Banshee speed. I love it. I just love this man.
Now let's see if this is scouted. Here comes a hallucinated Phoenix. Wait, was it killed?
Well, no, it scouted it for sure.
Okay. No.
Oh wait,
Widowmine shot
mine got it.
Yeah,
wait,
I was
are
confused.
you serious?
There's a Widowmine underneath the SCB line.
Oh
so,
my God, that was for the Oracle.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
That's too crazy.
Also, he's going to send another one out here. Now, again, if you don't know they're meching, you're going to assume they're going bio, and you're going to be set up for the completely wrong unit composition.
Which is, it's pretty bad. Okay, he's flying through now.
Is going to get hit with the same one? Oh, no, it's just out of range.
Okay, he sees its mech just now.
We both turn around in our chairs.
Yeah, well, it's important to see if they're like stressed by it or not.
Yeah.
Mech is, you know, generally considered weaker than bio in the matchup, but a lot of it comes down to exactly what is the mech player going to do. Have you practiced against that?
Also, there's not one way of meching, you know?
Oh my God.
Now, what surprises me even more than the mech is mech combined with a hidden fourth base in the bottom right. Now, it's not crazy to think Protoss will eventually try to expand to that bottom right location, or at least be moving through there. So I'm curious to see. I guess you could set up the fourth over there, safer than if you expand on your side of the map, because you're going to be looking for that.
Yeah.
And then maybe even if it's spotted, you just flee with your SCVs and go to just the location 2 spots up from this expansion-wise and take that instead.
Well, that's the last spot you would scout realistically. That is the LZ Gamer base that we always joke about, where it's like, yeah, this is the location you don't expect because when you find it, it's dead. and it's like kind of too close to your opponent and too easy to kill, but at the same time, that's why you never scout it. It's like so far out there. That's a very late game expansion, and on these positions, this would be one of Deer's expansions.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Like, it's a type of play that's really only works against somebody who's really on top of their stuff. It is efficient enough that there's things they're just not going to do because they discount that because of the skill of the players. By the way, Banshees with the speed come through there. They are deflected with ease.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Oh,
now, what? There's
foul.
only, what, 4 or 5 SCVs over there?
Yeah, I'm not sure how
Bottom
many
right?
exactly. Maybe he's been dropping his mules there. Yeah, that looks like he's just been sucking up those mules.
One thing is, whenever you have a hidden base, you always want to drop all your mules at the hidden base because you'll soak up all the resources in a much quicker fashion. And that way, even if it's spotted, you got the most out of it. You can always drop mules back at home at the bases you're supposed to be able to keep if you're still able to stay alive in the game.
By the way, I want to point something out that I found very interesting. When Deer scouted this, he went into 3 Robo Colossus, which doesn't make a lot of sense in my opinion. I don't really like Colossus against mech. I don't think it's a super strong way to play.
Right.
Because especially if they're like massing siege tanks or something. Now he is going up into Stargate tech as well, so maybe Tempest or maybe Carriers, which I think both those are pretty good choices. But let's see what the Colossus do. He is adding in a bunch of Immortals, which of course can be very good against mech.
Sure. Yeah, the Immortals are definitely going to be the right answer to take on mech units. 2 Stargates down here at the bottom, finish up. If
they have like a lot of Hellions or Cyclones in front of the tanks, I feel like the, especially the Hellions, the Immortals don't do as well.
Right.
I always feel like Psystorm is really useful in these types of situations, but we'll see what Deer's composition ends up doing. I was very surprised to see the 3 Robo this early on. You know, that's like cool. Trying to support 3 Robos, you gotta have a big economy for that.
Yeah. Okay, so this infantry going to be cleaned up, making this even more of a mech game now that the few remaining infantry units are now gone. This is, I think, an overstep, though. I don't know if TY can really stand in that location for too much longer. Great blink forward, taking out all the Cyclones, with the exception of one that were in that little area over there. Can Deer push through here? This is an awkward area, but
I don't think so. I
can't
think that would be a terrible. Like, if you could attack through there and kill your opponent, then
you can do a lot more than this. Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
It's like if you can go through there, then you can go through anything, my friend.
Yeah. Suddenly it becomes some weird, protect the Nexus game or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, is there any way to stop Protoss units?
It's a UMS now. 3 carriers are coming, but I think Terran's going to be the first one to initiate here. And
well, this army carriers, just is better.
There's few things that take longer than carriers to start to play a role.
Yeah, it's
in
very
the
true.
game. You got to get them out, and the interceptors have to be ready, and then you have to have a certain number of them.
Just their build time in general is very, very
Absolutely,
long.
yeah. Oh my God! And this is another little blunder here by Deer, losing those units. Now Deer has a small tactical grip up here, but I'm worried about this army from TY, this mech army, that should just flatten everything that's over here. We have a recall back home, only to retreat then from the army.
Well, this is, like, look at this army, right? How does Colossus help you against this exactly?
It really doesn't. And the siege tanks with superior range to the Colossus can continue to push through. Now he's actually cut off any reinforcements. Oh my God, great disable there.
Oh,
Easily takes that out.
Yeah, Cyclones lock on your carrier and it's not going to be around for very long.
25 probes have already been killed. TY is still absolutely maxed out. We have a counterattack. No, I'm sorry. He's going to try to come around from behind and flank this army, although I'm not sure how well that's going to work. Siege tanks are not in siege mode, so some extra shots are pulled off here from the Protoss, but the damage is still coming. I think these Banshees are going to kill this Nexus before the Stalkers can really say much about it.
That's for sure.
Go back.
Oh, some mismicro there from TY, losing a couple extra Banshees because of it.
I think it's probably okay.
Yeah, no, he's looking pretty good right now, just continuing to take more of the map. His main army, like the composition Deer has, just doesn't really do much here.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I guess he's going to get these tanks, but is this too little too late?
I would say so.
Yeah, even though the supplies are even, TY will skyrocket back into maxing out momentarily here. The Protoss army, Immortals and Colossus, even with the Stalkers, none of these units are that fast. To walk across the map, you know, even though Protoss, it's funny, they have a lot of mobility with like warping in and recalling. When it comes to actually just pushing, like when to start the push, you have to walk that slow walk all the way across. You can reinforce it with a warp prism, but this should be enough time that Terran is already able to recover, to have what they need, and then to take on this attack. And behind this, economically, Protoss is in shambles.
Yeah, Deer's economy has really tanked from here. This is a tough situation for him. He's down 20 workers right now. I still don't think his unit composition is quite optimal. I do like that he has some charge lots in here. The Archons are obviously just there because he has an excess of gas, though.
Right, I mean, whenever you have all these minerals, just throw something down there and then let them soak up some of the damage. That's why you see Hellions a lot of time, just extra Hellions in a mech game.
Yeah.
It's like we don't have anything else to use the minerals on.
Yeah, and then, I mean, sometimes you see Archons in a situation like this. It's like, well, I mean, do these beat anything in there? I guess they're okay against the Hellbats, but that's about it.
Yeah. Protoss is going to push in. This is kind of the Hail Mary play. And I don't think this is going to work.
No, he's attacking into a planetary during this, so that makes it so difficult.
It's a planetary that does not look like it's going to die. In fact, he's trying to force his way through here, which...
Because his army was pretty good overall. Like, he had a good amount of carriers in here. He has a lot of immortals. He even still has a decent amount.
Well, now this is trapped in here.
Yeah.
And there's so many different ways that TY can pull this army. It's going to be just one more carrier left over, and zealots that'll easily be destroyed. And I mean, from here, I think TY, assuming that Deer stays in the game, I don't know that he will.
Yeah, no, I think he's going to out. He has
so.
He has a Stalker right now. Do you think the Stalker can stop 2 Banshees, 3 Hellions, 4 Cyclones, 7 tanks?
Well, let's not call it too soon. I mean, maybe it's got a shot with perfect control.
It could beat the Hellions, maybe. If it's near a shield battery, you know?
Yeah, this is pretty rough here. So I think TY, knowing that don't risk it, he doesn't know exactly what Protoss has. He has a pretty good idea, but when you have games that have been this back and forth, it's a little bit tricky to just for sure know. And so he's probably going to just max out and then push out across the map again, knowing that's when he'll have the most units compared to whatever Deer will have. Does he still have the Raven, by the way?
No, the Raven died.
Raven's gone. Okay. I was going to say, if the Raven was out, you could always disable this when the Archons come out and then just kill that.
I didn't see it die per se, but at the end of the battle, everything in the Protoss army was orange. It was like, I could tell it was one of those things where the sentry's about to die to Lings, you throw a force field down that doesn't do anything.
In the middle, and it moves him aside. And
it's like, oh, I cast the spell because I want value out of the spellcaster before it dies.
Okay. Here comes what looks to be the closer here from TY. I can't imagine, even if TY controls poorly and Deer controls perfectly, that this is something that is winnable for Protoss. But let's see.
Yeah, he has so many Archons in there right now. A lot of Stalkers as well. It's like a pretty mobile army overall, but like you have, he's going to try to counterattack, I guess. It's just, this doesn't really beat anything.
Right.
You know?
Well, once it actually has to fight anything that's substantial here from Terran, it should lose.
It would beat Vikings. Like any amount of Vikings this would kill, but other than that, man, like he's like running from the army. Very tough stuff. I love the Cyclones just walking away from them while they die.
Yeah, there's literally nothing they can do.
That costs 300 gas. Like, yeah, get out of here.
Sorry, buddy. Again, Deer did succeed in pulling TY away, but the supplies are so low. Yeah, GG. TY crushing Deer in game 1.
Yeah, so I think that Deer made some mistakes. And again, it's hard to play against mech, and I think that there is not actually a 100% agreed upon way to play PvT against mech because it's not, it hasn't been used enough and played out enough on both sides. But if I could mention, he went into 3 Robo Colossus. He made those Colossus. They didn't really do anything. Then he made like a good amount of Immortals, and there were no charge lots in his army.
Yeah.
And he went into carriers. So it's like, he doesn't, like the army composition doesn't even make sense. A switch into carriers is great, right? If you get a bunch of flying units, that's great against mech.
Sure.
Or if you make like 1,000,000 Immortals and Charge Lots. That's great. But when we have like 3 Colossus and like 8 Stalkers and 5 Immortals and 2 Carriers, and it's like, what else do we have in there? You know, we have some Sentries. That's not really a composition that does anything well.
Game 2 will be on Nightshade. Right now, TY with a 1-0 lead versus Deer. The winner goes on to the round of 16 of the GSL.
전투 준비 완료. TY 전태양. 카이지 게임 디어 백동준.
I do wonder if TY will mech again here, because that was a very specific, weird mech build. It's set up so that you don't think mech right away, but you can have Protoss going down the wrong avenue. And then it also was paired with a hidden command center. And I've been wondering if we're going to have an influx of more hidden bases in StarCraft 2. The game has become so fine-tuned as far as strategies go that there are a lot of kind of ridiculous locations to expand to that could actually get you a pretty big lead. Now, I thought that one that TY did was pretty insane, but you know, let's take like Golden Wall, right? If you expanded their side of the map in that top spot, you know, it's like, well, they actually might not look there, you know?
It is true.
But cool to see TY do that. You know, Terran have a unique advantage in hidden bases. They always have had it, is that they can at least fly their building out. You know, if it's spotted,
it's
like,
nothing's
okay,
too close by, you might get it at home.
And that combined with mules as well. You know, whenever you take a hidden base as Terran, always land your mules at the hidden base. You never want to land anything mule-wise anywhere else, because with the mules, you know, they mine minerals so much quicker. You can take as many of the assets from that base as possible, and even if it's spotted, you can get out. And especially if it's a base on their side of the map, those are minerals that if it goes to like an insane late game, those are minerals they don't get.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. If you suck a bunch of minerals out, suddenly they do have less on their side of the map.
Doesn't usually factor into the entire game, but it's one of those things, if you really want to go down that path
it's a possibility,
and bring it to its logical conclusion, that's where you go.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think he's going to go mech again, to be honest. When you look at that...
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Well, now he has to go blink
Oh
to get
my
that
god.
out. Imagine how surprised the Reaper would be if it jumped up.
You know, this is where I talk about Deer being just so inconsistent. Look at this. There's
That's a hidden armory.
Yeah.
So hold on.
So we have the Stalker here under quarantine from coronavirus.
Yeah,
we'll see if after 2 weeks he can come out of his base via War Prism. By the way, this is among the most humiliating things I've ever seen in a GSL game.
Oh, okay. It's like, whoa. Well, I mean, you hang out with me all the time, Tay, so you've seen more humiliating things than that Stalker. But
dude, for a game, this reminds me of what was that guy's name? The guy who blocked his San. Damn, look at that.
Well, that's the most embarrassing thing that's
ever happened. You block your Nexus with the with the pylon.
That was something else.
I mean, the fact that this might not factor into the game as far as wins or losses go, but this just shows that Deer did not quite have the placement mapped out correctly here.
So now we see what he's trying to do with that hidden armory, right? He's going to go for very quick drilling claws. This can be really, really tricky because you need detection, obviously, to see them, and they burrow so quickly that if you don't see the medevac flying in, the probes are dead. Like, you have to react so much quicker.
Am I correct in saying that TY has the widest range of builds for top-tier Terrans? I feel like he does.
I would say that Maru has just as wide a range, but those two.
You know what? I almost think the TY might have like a little bit more. I mean, like, for instance, this hidden armory build, we'll never see this from Maru.
We don't really ever see this in general unless you're playing in about Diamond on the Korean server, but yeah, I don't know. Maru has some pretty out there stuff occasionally too lately, since he's really kind of hit his stride. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely like hard to guess what in the world he's up to, right?
Okay, here comes that hallucinated peaks. Now, just You don't come in here and go,
See that upgrade.
where's your armory?
Well, you see that upgrading, right? So are you thinking, oh, is he upgrading, like, Cyclones? Like, is that what's going on? But you don't see a Cyclone.
2 Stalkers in the back to defend.
Dude, he's adding 2 more gases. Maybe he is going to go mech.
Artemis, he's going to go mech, I think. Now, this Observer's well placed.
Yeah.
Very well placed. Oh, wait, did he not spot that? Wait.
Somebody, get me out of this mess.
Okay, he's going to get the burrow. All 3.
Oh, my.
Oh!
A good split there at the end, but still,
Yeah.
6 probes
First
is pretty
shot
darn
was pretty good. And the War Prison, not War Prison, what am I saying? The medevac goes down.
What is this?
Good thing he could blink away from the edge of the Terran's base.
Did he have an observer up there or something that died, or?
I'm not sure.
Oh
TY
my
is
gosh.
especially good at shooting down the ops when he gets inside the base.
Okay, gets rid of that one. He has his 3rd base going up. It's not end of the world damage, but it was pretty good. Now, do we have mech going on? Yes, we do! Mech again! Look at this guy.
That's so cool that he's doing this.
Yeah, it is. It is really cool.
I want to see now if TY is going to keep using this style in the tournament or if this is like something he's going to bring out because, by the way, TY is a player that can plan for an entire tournament, not just a best of 3.
Oh, yeah.
So he might have this style he brings out so that other players don't have data on what else he wants to use.
Well, I guarantee you he can't use it every game. Because if
I don't
TY
think so.
were to use this every game, that means that it's better than Bio.
Yeah.
You know? But I think to mix in is nice because if you're like a Protoss player in the round of 16 and you're looking at these games, do you pick him for your group?
Well,
Probably not, right?
Not just that, but it's like, well, what am I practicing for if he's going to do this?
Yeah.
This is...
Who do you get to do this against you that can do it like
Yeah.
It's
Like,
impossible.
can you do a weird mech
And then
build?
he'll just not do it, and you'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
I wasted so much time.
So I have to be prepared for every possible thing that could ever happen. That's kind of hard.
Yeah, that's StarCraft right there.
Now, oh my God. Okay, good pull away. Excellent pull away. And this is where
Yeah,
it can
good
become
defense.
cost inefficient with the Widowmine drops. There's definitely a limit, but TY says we're not at that limit yet. He's loaded up 4 more Widowmines into a medevac, and that's headed northbound.
By the way, this is Colossus tech again, just one Robo Colossus, but still going down that route, getting charged, getting 1-1. Does he actually have confirmation that this is mech?
Well, that's a good question.
'Cause
You know,
his build-
we have a lot of Widowmine builds where they don't go mech.
Yeah. Even with the drilling claws.
Yeah.
That doesn't just mean mech. He's gonna get in here.
He sees 2 siege tanks with Widowmine, so it's...
Yeah, that doesn't.
But it should... I think that says it's mech, right?
Maybe, yeah. That's like a
It's
lot of
factory
production.
units. Yeah.
Yeah, that means, like, with the amount of mines that you've seen so far, that would be like a reactor and a tech lab. So yeah, I feel like he should be able to put together that it's mech. But there's like some Marines out there too, which makes it a little bit tricky.
Right.
Now he's taken another base really quickly. I think that he knows now. Because if it's bio and you take that 4th base right now, that could be a little bit more scary.
Did he see that? The Widowmine there?
He did
'Cause
move his
the-
army down there.
The best way to get the most probe kills is actually during the transfer.
Oh,
When they send them over for the Widowmine, that's
Yeah.
like literally, I guess also if you get them right exactly when they're running away and group together. But yeah, we'll have to see if that plays a role. I'm sorry, it's still there, right?
I believe it's still there.
Yeah, I think we see it on the mini-map.
Yeah, and the probes just went there. Ah, it cut 3. Oh, they were clicked to one of the top patches.
Well, he got the kills and he gets out. Good move. He can always shuffle that Widowmine over there and do some more damage later on. Here comes some Hellions over here again. But good defense by Deer. This game is overall sized up to be a better game from Deer.
Yeah, I think he's in a much better spot than he was in a lot of ways, but it still feels like he doesn't know it's mech all the way. Like, I don't see any of the things that I want to see against
Ooh,
mech.
good blink. Body blocked.
Right? Like, we haven't seen any air upgrades start. We haven't seen additional robos come down. Like, we're seeing Archons get made. It feels, okay, well, this is a way some people play against mech. Like, if Patience sees mech, he's just like, yeah, let's make a bunch of units and attack. So maybe that's what we're going to see from Deer.
Okay, here comes the push now. Deer going to edge forward. I
Oh.
don't see anywhere you actually would ever want to attack into. Well, hold on. He's going to take a fourth. I take it back.
Yeah.
Before that CC had lifted, I thought there's no way.
Walking down that ramp, you might die.
Yeah. We have another Widow Mine
Rez.
drop inbound here.
Oh, he's actually backing up.
Okay, this is, I want to say, an impregnable position here for Terran. Granted, most of the tanks are not in siege mode, but
He wasn't quite.
this is like never going to work in a million years, right?
I don't think so. It shouldn't.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. You know, he had most of, yeah, I am wrong, actually. He didn't have most of the tanks in siege mode. And wow, okay, Deer just comes through and smashes here.
It's all right. The medevacs are coming back with the mines. We'll see if they can clear this out. But yeah,
that's
it looks like
GG. Wow, okay.
You know, he wasn't quite in position. I think that if he is sieged behind all that stuff when this comes, it's an easy hold.
I think you're right.
But of course, he was walking down the ramp, and then suddenly Deer is on top of him, and yeah, he got cleared out pretty quickly there. But that was kind of like the brute force. Let's get the Terran where he's not defending 100% perfectly with mech.
Yeah, again, not having the siege tanks in siege mode, having them run back, some liberation zones were instead. Everything about it was bad. Deer definitely pleasantly surprised by that attack. I guess we really just don't know the answer. Will TY mech again? I feel like it's...
Third map is Golden Wall, I believe.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
cool.
Does he? Yeah, I don't know how this changes that, because Protoss generally want to go like blink and charge pretty quickly.
Sure.
That might open up a window against mech. I'm not sure.
We might have it built entirely tailored to this map as well.
Yeah.
Then again, TY already once on this map said he just is going to cheese. make you waste your practice. Game 3's up. Let's see who moves on to the round of 16.
전투 준비 완료. TY 전태양. 타이지 게임 리어 백동주.
I gotta say, I do kind of hope that TY advances, because I think Deer versus Armani or Bomber is going to be a more exciting match.
Should be closer, right?
Whereas when I think about TY against them, I'm like,
It does seem like a lot of what's happened in this best of 3 so far is more about TY than it is about Deer. You know, it's like, okay, he went for the crazy Unicop again, but he wasn't set up this time. I don't think the Deer in practice was anticipating even 2 mech games, maybe even let alone 1.
Probably not 1, yeah, I would imagine. If you think your opponent might mech, I think you play a very different game, where you're actually looking for it and lining up some good techs or more greedy play, something like that.
One thing about TY, though, is he really does appear to be ahead of the curve by a lot. It's just RTS understanding compared to even the other GSL players.
Well, it makes sense, right? He's been a pro gamer now for like 13 years or so. And
TY?
Yeah.
I think even longer than that.
13 or 14 years then, I guess, because he's 25 right now. He started at his 12 as a pro. And
no, you're right. It would be. Yeah, you're right. It would be 13 years. Wow.
Yeah, if you're a pro from the time you're 12, that's like.
Remember,
I mean, your brain should be pretty acclimated to thinking about StarCraft in a smart way.
Can you even imagine? Remember being 12? I barely do. What grade are you in the U.S. if you're 12th grade, or if you're 12 years old?
Let me think about that actually.
I'm at second.
Like 5th grade?
Let me check on my phone. Trying to
Right?
think
Yeah, 12 is 5th grade or so. Give or take 1 year.
year old in. I'm just checking on my phone. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Or you might be in 7th grade, actually.
Not me. I was in 5th grade.
So you would like be about to start middle school.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, so wow. Think about that. You were learning like some of the most basic stuff ever, but TY was on TV playing the hardest game ever made.
Yeah.
Against other strategy geniuses. That's insane.
That's pretty wild. That's kind of cool.
I mean, and by then, yeah, and you've been doing it this entire time, but now here you are on stage. There's nothing more you than this thing, if that's what you started doing then. And what's funny is, I guess, yeah, the first time I played StarCraft was when I was, what, 13 or something like that?
You should have been 14 or 15.
14 or 15, okay.
14 maybe?
No, because I'm a year younger than you.
Yeah, so you should have been 14,
14?
because I think I was
15
15
I was 14.
or 16 when it came out.
I'm trying to think about how garbage my understanding of the game was right when it came out.
Well, everybody
who just first got StarCraft, what you think you know.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
And then you get online, you're like, oh, by the way, isn't this just very pretty on the
so
eyes?
Cool.
This is just...
Yeah, I really like that. They're watching that Fortnite tornado.
They're Fortnite dancing!
My God. All right, so some Banshees coming out. Is he going to mech Tasteless? Tell me
no.
quick.
No.
No?
No!
Yes, he's going to mech.
Oh, is he?
No.
No?
I don't know.
I don't think he'll mech this time. I don't think mech is good on this map, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's too... I mean, it's split in half, and...
What if you put a siege tank behind the gold minerals? What's
oh,
up,
then it's game over, man.
Game over!
Game over. Get out! No, I think he'll go bio. I think he's had his fun.
But there's his third command. Let's see if he throws on 2 gases.
Come on. Is there an observer here?
Soon.
Well, that's not very many kills. 3. Is he going to get the 2 gases?
Where's his gases?
Nobody
Tasteless.
touched the gold
No
yet.
one wants Stimmy Marines. No one cares.
I want some Stimmy boys. I want some Space Marins.
Space Marines. I guess we'll just never know. Yeah, I think it's going to be
We'll never know. What do you mean?
We'll just never know.
Yeah, because then the Earth was hit by a meteor and it wasn't important anymore. Like,
No, because, I mean, even when the game ends, they were like, so wait, did he go mech in that last game? I'm like, I'm not really sure, to be honest. There was like some mech units and some bio units, and like...
To be honest, when the Banshee killed 3 probes, I blacked out and I woke up and it was in the losers match. So I don't know.
Yeah. See? Guess we'll never know if he's gonna go mech or not.
I woke up around a bunch of empty Hot 6 cans and thought, not again.
There they are! It's mech.
Factory time.
Where are my factory boys at? Okay, so it's again Colossus tech. It looks like a very standard anti-Bioforce. And again, what we saw that last game was TY getting slightly out of position and that very strong force attack moving through to a victory. Now, that's not as likely to happen here because TY is expanding behind. So you're basically, your one attack path is actually up a ramp into his natural, and that should never, ever work, right? If TY just takes control of the back with mech,
that's what I'm thinking. Can he push to the bottom?
You can't use Colossus charge lot against that, right? It's impossible, isn't it?
I think so.
Tell me, Tasteless.
I think he's going to try to push to the bottom, but
yeah,
can't Protoss try to counterattack some at the top?
Through those depots? Look at those!
I think you could maybe try. I don't know.
A Protoss kill depots? It's never happened. It can't.
Protoss eat banelings. That's the only answer.
All 3 races should have banelings. Wouldn't that be great?
Yes.
If just that was the whole game was drones and banelings, that's it.
That's all we want.
Well, that's the world no regret lives in, at least, right?
Someone's going to mod the game, and that's going to get bigger than StarCraft. Did you know that Bane Bomb game was actually a mod of a game called StarCraft? It's on one of those Ask Mojo top 10 things about gaming you didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on the Score Esports.
What's Ask Mojo?
It's, you know, the things that you don't know that are just in the world. It's amazing to me.
Yeah, that's for everyone, that's true.
That's like the top 10 things. It's one of those top 10 or top 5 things.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever see that
thing?
Was it the Score that did it? It's like why StarCraft died or whatever. And
like
they
did
got
StarCraft die?
And they got everything wrong in the article, and it's like,
oh, that's sick.
It's like so weird. I'm like, are people really paid to do this?
They are paid to do this.
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
They missed like match fixing scandals and everything, and probably got all their information off of Reddit. It's so weird.
Huh?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know. But who's Mojo?
It's Ask Mojo. It's another bad. It's like, here are the top 10 Batman villains. Here's our list of the top 10 animated
Are you
trails.
in there?
Yes. I'm
Okay,
number
just
8,
making-
unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't put you, like, I'd put you at 7, but like 8's fair.
7, 8's
Yeah.
fair?
You're
All right.
above the Penguin.
I don't know. I think I might be below the Penguin. I think I'm right up above Clayface.
Oh, I am so sorry. I thought you were Clayface.
I am, but I don't have my makeup on, man.
So see these depots? Basically invincible. He cannot get in here.
yeah. Ugh,
You
these
see it?
depots.
Did I call that perfectly?
I love that he has to attack lower depots before he can even attack into it.
It's true.
It's true, too. It's a funny thing about the way the AI works.
Yeah.
You're like, well, they're lowered, right? Can't you just attack the units? You're like, no, actually, I can't. The AI won't let it go that way.
Yeah. Everything will mess up.
Yeah.
The depots will take hundreds of damage and his army will kill mine.
Yes.
So look at this. He's actually re-walling right here. I've never seen a turret in a wall, but that's cool. I really like how this game is turning out, right? Because Deer is getting very, very big. He's going into, you know, Fleet Beacon, you know, Stargate Tech in general. I think it'll be carrier.
I love the...
I think Tempests aren't that bad against mech, though, to be honest.
I love the way that the expanding's happening here. TY's taking the gold base, has a share of both the upper and lower platform, but Deer has gone all in on the top.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he should take, like, another base even, right? If your opponent is sitting there just making siege tanks...
Where does he go next?
Take the one to the right, like on TY's side.
Oh,
see
you're
the one
mad.
he just took? No, 100%. Take that and take your gold. Just make a bunch of Nexuses. Nexus Sprinter, go Burr. You're playing against mech. Come on. You know how to play against mech. Come on, Tasus.
True, yeah.
This is the way to do it.
You do want to have just like a lot of...
Make 100 Nexuses.
Yeah. This is a more mobile mech army, Artosis.
It is. That is
Here
true.
we go. Oh man, what if he just dies to this? What if he's like, oh yeah, you can't make that many Nexuses. TY.
He didn't make that many yet. But his splash damage is not up to the task of erasing all those Hellions, I think, right? I think that's the problem. Sidestorm is... Oh, God.
Oh, God, the flank
This
is
not
less than
good.
ideal.
The
Hold
flank
on.
is... Where is the flank? Oh, there it is.
Okay, this is awkward because most of the Hellions were actually not in the fight. And they're what's really needed to be soaking the damage here.
Yeah, I like the Immortal Gain on top of those Siege Tanks a little bit. He might end up holding if he...
I think actually Deer wins this.
I think... Yeah, Deer,
he?
like, he ends up holding, I think, here.
No, I guess I'm...
If you make a round of
Sorry,
Stalkers...
guys, I'm not used to calling mech fights like this very often, so
Okay.
I'm like...
See, there's this round of Stalkers, and now you can kind of just blink around and kill everything. But, like, TY got rid of his army for the most part, right? That was a lot of Immortals. Again, I don't think the Colossus are good against mech. I don't get it when Protosses make Colossus against mech. They didn't do anything.
It seems like it's just in the meta now. You have Colossus, but he's not really playing, I think, the whole way through the game like it's mech. I think he's reacting a little bit later. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm...
Well, we didn't know. We still aren't sure against mech, right?
Even when these fights happen, I'm still not very clear on who's going to win.
Yeah.
I try to use my tasteless cheat code by watching the Immortals and seeing how long they last, and it hasn't always been working out as well for me.
Well, they were around at the end, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of Thors being added in right now. Reasonable anti-carrier. It's so funny watching lock-ons go on to interceptors and stuff.
I know.
It's like, is there anything worse than that?
And then it follows the interceptor as the interceptor goes inside the carrier, and then the missile goes into where the Death Star part of the carrier is, and it blows it up.
That would be amazing.
And the interceptor, for some reason, has to fly out of the carrier, just blowing up.
Well, Deer is on that interceptor, just flies across the map and off the stage.
And blows up because he has no carrier once he's out.
Just better not take too much damage. He's making a Phoenix right now.
Okay.
What's that for?
To pick up a tank.
Oh, maybe just sit it behind his expansion, like waiting for Banshee or something?
He wants him to think he's making hallucinated Phoenixes. And then when he makes a unit comp to fight sentries, whatever that could possibly be, then he'll know.
Thor's to crush force fields.
Yes. The mind games. Oh, the mind games. Oh, a carrier shadow. Well, things have really slowed down in this game.
Yeah, it's a quiet period. It definitely feels like advantage TY, but the longer we sit here, the more Deer kind of gains a bank and will be able to make what he wants.
Deer will also mine out his gold base. I'm sorry, TY will mine out his gold base first.
That is true.
You know, Speed Banshees are proving to be really helpful on this map. There's nothing quite as fast that can just shoot stuff down as Banshees here. But a good warp in there, he drives that away. Speed Banshees might even be stronger when the Protoss is actually maxed out and therefore can't warp in to save stuff.
Yeah.
Artosis!
Oh my gosh. Shooting Claw's not quite done yet. Does end up pushing this back pretty easily with that force. But TY did lose a base there. And the thing is, losing a base right now is actually not as impactful.
Yeah, we're in a very, very late game TVP here. Now, is Terran going to do a further push over here? Because although expansions are not many down here, he can actually come in here and start to eliminate a lot of the tech.
Do you think TY's going to try to push into the main?
I thought he was, but he's turning around.
I wish he'd send probes that.
I still don't understand, what Mac right now on this map especially. Okay, he is going to push through.
Well, I think you get up here and you can kill the Nexus on the gold base, which
But,
is nice.
you know,
that's a free kill.
There's a real yin and yang as far as defense and offense goes, and a give and take at that, because now there's nothing to save that base at the top, and there's actually going to be a double counter attack. We're going to be in a late game. It looks to be base trade here, unless Protoss decides to go back home, because right now...
Oh my god. Yeah, it is a base trade. There's like nothing left for TY at home right now.
Okay, he's got 3 Immortals. If he could stop that before it starts.
Look how many command centers he's losing. And look, the Dark Shrine starts.
Oh my god, if he gets the pylon! All right, the Immortals do get out. Yeah, you know, with Terran basically maxed out, you can't even make anything to save that. I'm actually so shocked that Deer sent this back here.
Yeah.
Why would he do that?
Well, he wants to clear out his supply. I don't know. It loses so many Immortals right there.
Yeah, that was so much.
And in fact, look at this.
Oh, what? TY crushes this?
Well, I mean, he sent a big chunk of his army back. Oh yes, that's what we need for this game.
Yeah, we need Immortals with like Brood Lord range, you know?
That would be the best unit in the game.
We need Immortals that shoot out Broodlings.
That explode like Banelings.
Yeah.
And do splash against Sky units too.
Yes. Okay, so
you see this Liberator fighting Interceptors?
Yeah, he's gonna get dizzy. He's like, oh, they're everywhere. I have an inner ear imbalance.
Yeah, he's gonna get like rad counters or something.
Well, this is all the infrastructure for Protoss. Granted, that's going to be remade up here. I don't believe that will be enough in any kind of manner to get the Protoss to recuperate. I think everything is obliterated down here, even with the amount of minerals and gas that you know, are at the disposal of the Protoss. This is just like way too much from Terran, and Terran never really suffered a major infrastructural loss. So
yeah,
I
his
mean,
production's still up, and he's got good bank and way more supply.
When you see the Protoss's main base get destroyed, even if they have minerals and gas, usually what they're remaking is just gateways. Your gateways, and then that, of course, that makes gateway stuff, which is a technical term if you want to learn how to be a caster. And that is just not good against mech.
Gateway stuff?
Gateway stuff.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
TY does not really have that much mining going on, I guess, so I think Deer with 3 bases that have decent mining going on, maybe he can make something happen here still. He had DT Blink, that was just sick, by the way. Imagine DT Blink here, look how much he's doing! Oh, that was a good split.
That Thor shot from the hip. See him whip around. All right, but maybe this one carrier that I imagine Deer is flying right now.
Oh, he's in one of the interceptor stations.
Okay, let's watch this really hopeless moment here for Protoss, where even though in theory Immortals are good against mech when there's this much splash damage and attacking units come out.
But what? Maybe he can get his Zealots on top of everything, do a good blink, and let the Immortals get some hits?
Well, let's hope so.
Oh, this is the worst
thing
in the world is walking around this right now. Look at this. Yeah. Everything's stuck behind the Stalkers. Oh my god. Well, luckily for everything, the Stalkers died very quickly, and they got to go ahead and die as well.
I want you guys to know that most of the Protoss units were not in pain when they died. Okay?
Except the Stalkers. They were really
They died instantly.
That was not a quality wraparound right there.
No, that was not. And, okay. Let's find that G key here. This is over game. GG. TY wins. Our beautiful player caster TY advances to the round of 16. Dear, it was a good series, but at the end of the day, I think it's pretty clear that TY is the player that is supposed to advance.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have a close match, I think, in the losers. And I think we also got a close match coming up in the round of 4.
It's possible. It's possible.
TY, casting, playing, always gaming.
Man, I'm excited for the next round just to see if TY keeps the mech up.
Yeah, me too. That'd be cool. We're going to have an interview now. Gary will be asking TY some questions. We'll see how he's feeling now that he has managed to advance to the round of 16 in the GSL Code S.
All right, we're going to have an interview with TY, the first winner of Group B. Congratulations.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
네, 자 절친 매치 승리를 거둔 소감부터
And now you beat your best
들어볼게요.
friend Deer and you move on to
사실
round of 16.
동준이가
How do you feel?
테란전 굉장히 잘해가지고
Well,
좀
Deer's
걱정을
really good
많이
at late
했어요.
games, so I was a
근데,
little worried.
어떻게 하면 이길 수 있을까?
So I was wondering how to beat him.
많이 했고 결국 메카닉이
And
답이더라고요.
in the end, I knew that mechanic was the answer, and that's why I used it. And I think worked really well.
메카닉을 답이라고 생각하셨다는 게
you thought
궁금합니다.
mech was the
메카닉이
answer.
프로토스에서 좋은가요?
I'm quite curious as to if it's good against
메카닉이
Protoss.
좋다고는 못하겠는데
I mean, I can't say that mech is perfect,
세다 보니까
but since
좋다고는
Immortals are so
못하겠는데
strong,
요즘 프로토스
mech is pretty
선수들이
good against
메카닉을
that.
약간 배제하는 플레이를 굉장히 많이 하더라고요.
And the Protoss players don't think about mech when they
제 생각대로
strategize,
잘된것 같습니다.
and I think that worked out
네.
really well for me.
3세트가 조금 강제된 메카닉이란 점에 비해서 2세트는 천궁지로의 드랍빌드로 시작하고 메카닉을
In the second set, you start off the game with the Widowmine drop.
이건 뭐 메카닉 의도를 숨기기 위한
And
거였나요?
was this prepared to hide?
딱히 그런
fact
건
that you're
아니에요.
going to
그런 건 아닌데
mechanic.
그 연습하는
No, not really.
과정에서 김대엽 선수랑 많이 했는데
While I was practicing, I scrimmed against stats a lot,
탐사정을 굉장히 많이 잡았거든요. 그래서 이건 1승 빌드다라고 생각을 하고
and I knew that
있었는데
this
좀
build would
져서
work against good Protoss
충격이
players.
좀 컸어요.
네, 오늘 경기 사실 두 선수 양쪽 한쪽의 뭐 일방적인 경기는
And today's
아니었습니다.
match was
오늘
definitely
경기
not
전에도
one-sided. It was quite
두
back and forth.
오프라인 상대 전적이 9승 9패.
And your offline
박빙이었어요.
records
그
head-to-head
결승기를
is
이렇게 또
9-9.
승부까지 박빙인 그런 이유가 있을까요?
So why is this so close between you
제가
and Deer?
프로토스전을 굉장히 잘하는 편이라고 생각을
Well, I
하는데
thought my
동준이도
PvP was
그에
good,
맞게 테란전을
but
굉장히
on the other hand, Deer is really good at the PvT as well.
비등비등한 것 같고
So I think that's why we are just like
앞으로도 그런
9-9.
경기가 많이 나올 것 같아요.
And in the future, I think it's just the trend is going to
올
continue.
초만 해도 IAM이나 슈퍼 토너먼트에서 예상에는 못 미치는
In this year, your performance at IEM Katowice and GSL Super Tournament was not that good. But with today's performance, I think the fans can have high hopes on you. So why is your performance getting good right now?
마음가짐적으로 좀 부담감이 좀 심했어요.
I mean,
여러
like,
가지로
at
좀 생각하는 게
the
많다
start of the
보니까
year,
그런 부분이
my
경기에서
mindset
좀 영향을
was
끼친
quite
것 같고
bad.
이제는 어느 정도 해소가 돼서
But
마음
now my
편하게
stress
좀
has been
GSL
relieved,
무대를 즐기면서 할 수
and
있을
now
것
I'm trying to
같고
have fun on the GSL
성적도
stage.
더 잘 나올 거라는 확신이 있습니다.
And I know for certain that my performance is going to get better.
한편 해설로서는 요즘 썸펠레 이야기를 듣고 있어요.
On the other hand, as a
속상하신가요?
caster, you make quite
그래서
bad
사실 저번
predictions.
경기
What about
때
that?
그런 이미지를 없애고자 제가 1등
Yeah, I kind of have that image right now.
제가 발언한 대로 1등 진출했고 결국은
But as I hope, I did advance in
떨어진
first
데는
place
실력이
today.
부족해서 떨어진 선수들은 떨어지지 않았나.
But I think the players who dropped out,
생각합니다.
I think they deserved
그렇군요.
it.
그럼 내친 김에 본인의 시즌 1 앞날을 예측해 보면 어떨까요?
How about you predict yourself then?
솔직히 좀 걱정이 많이 돼요.
I'm
아직까지
kind of worried right now.
세트전에 비해서 저그전이나 프로토스전이 많이 약해서
My TVP and TVZ is quite weak compared to my TVT. So unless I implement a fix on that,
까지가 한계이지 않을까.
I think it's gonna be really hard. So I'm gonna have to fix on that.
굉장히 겸손한 답변 들어봤습니다.
How humble of you,
그럼
TY.
마지막으로 한마디 들어보겠습니다.
In the end, do you have anything else to say?
최근에 좀 폼이 안 좋아서 좀
Well, my
걱정을
form
많이
has
하고
been quite
부담감도 많이
poor
느꼈는데
recently, and I felt a lot of
오늘
pressure.
이기게 돼서 정말 다행이고요.
But I'm really happy that I won today.
올해 초에 굉장히 일찍 떨어지고
And at the beginning of this year, you know, I was eliminated early in the round,
보답하도록 열심히
and I'll
하겠습니다.
try to put a better
다시 한번
performance in
진출
GSL.
축하드립니다.
Once again, congratulations on the win. Thank you.
네, 이렇게 1위
Thank you, Andy.
진출자 전태양 선수
So we
만나봤습니다.
kind of expected
계속해서
TY to be the
GSL
one
이벤트
who would be
안내해드립니다.
advancing there. Now we're going to go to the losers match and see who will be eliminated first in Group E.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how these two will actually match up. I feel like Armani's going to take it. I don't know. I hope that Bomber can really fight back and show some great games for the rest of the night, though. It would be like so hype if he could make it to the next round.
Well, even just seeing him do, not get knocked out first in this group would be exciting.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's all the time we have for now. We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, the losers match. Don't go away.